Hello, I'm Jim Lancaster, editor of Mission Extension, a weblog devoted to the future of cooperative extension. Within the last few months, I've noticed something from my visits with extension educators and students who aspire to be extension educators. Something heartening. Growing numbers of us realize that our 100-year-old outreach model is under the gun and will have to go radical change in the future. Overhauling this 100-year-old model will call for our transformation into new model extension educators. I became even more convinced of this new need after watching Newcastle University professor Sugata Mitra's 2010 TED Lecture. A few years ago, Mitra, a world-renowned educational technology expert, came up with a remarkable idea. He embedded internet-accessible computers in remote villages throughout India and later in similar locations throughout the world to see how children with little, if any, exposure to computers or the web would relate to them. The study turned up some remarkable results. The children learned by themselves with no adult oversight. Video recordings Mitra collected from these first encounters revealed one 8-year-old boy passing along what he'd learned to a 6-year-old girl. In another village, children, after only a few hours of exposure to the internet, learned how to record their own music and play it back to themselves, sparking the predictable reaction of awed delight. All of these experiences, Mitra says, underscores the awesome power of collaborative learning. Groups of children learned to use the computer and internet entirely on their own, regardless of who they were or where they lived. Buoyed by these results, Mitra decided to push the envelope. In a Hyderabad experiment, he turned over a computer to a group of students, English speakers who spoke with a thick regional accent. Initially, the computer responded to the children's accents with gibberish. Returning a couple of months later, Mitra discovered the children speaking in a manner remarkably similar to the neutral British accents the computer program was designed to detect. Some of the most remarkable results of all occurred in Turin, Italy in 2010, literally minutes after Mitra walked into a classroom of Italian-speaking 10-year-old children and wrote the following phrase in English on the chalkboard. "How did dinosaurs die out?" The children asked, "What?" "I said, do it," Mitra recounted. The youngsters secured the answer after 15 minutes by typing the English phrase into Google for the Italian translation and then Googling the translated Italian phrase. Mitra followed this with a somewhat more challenging question in English. Who was Pythagoras and what did he do? 20 minutes later, right-angled triangles began appearing on the screen. It just sent shivers up my spine, Mitra recalled. The parallel to Arthur C. Clarke's monoliths in 2001: A Space Odyssey are unmistakable. As a matter of fact, Clarke, an eager follower of Mitra's research before his death, drew two conclusions from them. First, a teacher who can be replaced by a machine should. Second, if children have interest, education happens. Based on his research, Mitra believes that education, thanks to the advent of Web 2.0, now bears all the hallmarks of a self-organizing system, one in which learning is an emergent phenomenon. Think about that for a minute. As extension educators, we are now working in a world in which education is a self-organizing structure that appears without any explicit intervention from the outside. Simply put, people using online resources are fully capable of learning on their own without any outside intervention. Not from family, not from teachers, not, for that matter, from extension educators. Now I challenge you, if Mitra is right, if the web is now a self-organizing system, if people are now capable of learning and organizing on their own without any outside intervention, is there any reason why we shouldn't be undertaking a drastic overhaul of our extension outreach model? I'm Jim Lancaster for Mission Extension. Thanks for watching.